Hello everybody, Panda West Music Talk here. I had more time to record things, so I'm just gonna do a throwback. And what better to do than Nimrod by Green Day? This album, production-wise, is pretty good. I'm just putting the production out right there out the front, because that's the least important out of these, because it honestly isn't that bad. It isn't bad. It's like you barely pay attention to production on this one, because there's nothing really special about it. It's just good production that really kind of presents the band as this hard band. And Rob Cavallo really knows how to bring the best out of Green Day. They he knows how to get this kind of gritty sound out of them. And that's why I've liked all of the Cavallo albums. Well, not all of the Cavallo albums. Trilogy, yeah, yeah. Also, the trilogy isn't that bad, but it's still pretty bad. The songs off here are very experimental, yet they still hold true to the fact that this is a pop punk record. This is a pop punk band. And yeah, though it can get a little wild at times, taking some things from ska, as in King for a Day, which is an amazing song about being in drag. Um, then there's Walking Alone, which has a harmonica solo, followed by a guitar solo during the bridge, and then and then probably one of my favorite songs, two songs off of this record, Jinx and Hashinka. I honestly thought Hashinka was a bridge to Jinx, but no, this is actually another song. Okay then. Nice Guys Finished Last really sets as a transition from Insomniac to Nimrod. It still has that really angry vibe to it that Insomniac really gave, but it's a bit smarter about its lyricism, which this album is known to have. This entire album is about the everyday life of any person in their 20s or 30s, except for the Grouch, because that's about a very old man who's just wasted his life away, which is a good song, by the way. Probably four songs I didn't really like all that much, but were okay. Would probably have to be Take Back, Reject, Worry Rock, and All the Time, because you know they're they're just okay. But I mean, they're not bad. Not really any of these songs are technically bad, except for maybe Take Back, maybe just a little. But heck, even Take Back has its charms. The fact that it's so angry, that's the vibe that it's getting. That's why it's so disconnected. So it's kind of bad for a reason, which I think is pretty cool. Now, the last three songs are my favorite. The first three songs and the last three songs are my all-time favorites off of this. The first three is obviously Nice Guys Finished Last, which is about nice guys who try to act nice. It's like, hi, how you doing? But they're really just trying to manipulate you, just trying to get ahead. So yeah, he's this nice guy just starts to lose his patience, and everything that he's done is just illegitimate. Is just becomes illegitimate. And then Hitching a Ride is this weird Stray Cats vibe until the very end, and it just goes all out. And And I like how it starts with this violin solo, and then it's one of the best examples off this album of building pressure in the song and then releasing it at the very end. And I love when songs do that. Um, and the lyrics discuss Billy's alcohol addiction, how he tried to deal with it, and it it can be hard to look at these lyric sheets because they're so down to earth and real. And even all the time, even though I didn't really like it that much, it's still a very, very, very close to home song about just wanting to quit but never finding the chance to do so or putting it off, just always trying to find another reason to keep going even though you really don't want to. It's it's really a picture perfect description of what addiction is like. It's man. And then The Grouch is about this man who just wasted his life away. It's like, and the lyrics go, I was a young boy, had big plans, and I'm just another shitty old man. And yeah, it's good. And again, the production off of this, from Hitching a Ride to this, it starts off subtly, and then the kind of far awayness that the guitars go when he says the first lines, and then and it just comes all back to close, and it just punches you right there. It's amazing. You're probably sick of me saying amazing. Then redundant, and there's a lot of sad love songs here that are just about how real a relationship can get. Like, about how even just the relationship itself can get stale, even though you love each other. The potency of that feeling isn't there, and that's really hard to process, especially when you're my age. And yeah, love is a very potent feeling around this time. It it's hard to describe. It's weird how that could potentially happen to any person that I know who has a relationship. And then Scattered is about having someone, wanting to have someone back. And then Worry Rock is about basically how the relationship has gone stale, but they're still trying to pick up the pieces. And then there's a lot of troll songs, like I said, Take Back, just anger about someone who abused them, and then just starts taking pleasure in the seeing failure in somebody else that did that thing to them. It's it it shows the anger that is still there from the Insomniac days. It shows that these guys are vulnerable people, and they express that in very non-vulnerable ways. And then Uptight is a very, very sad song about suicide. And then Last Ride In, a beach rock instrumental with no lyrics. It's honestly so amazing. Like, just pause this video, open another tab or something. Just go listen to that one song and say, what did I just listen to? And then Jinx, very rip-roaring sound about this guy who's just apologizing to an ex for whatever he did wrong to her. Like that that topic right there, like not thinking that you deserved a pain that you were inflicted by somebody else. Sometimes you can't understand why that happened after it happened, but there are some times where like why did that happen? So yeah, he covers all he covers he leaves no stone unturned when talking about the relationships and things like that. And then Walking Alone is another song about drinking, and more specifically the consequences and what it can do to friendships and relationships. And, and he's just this guy, he's he's just drinking, and he's and with that, it's causing him to just act out in very weird ways, and it and and his friends don't want to be around him anymore. And just leaves him alone. And that that's really something sad. And then Reject is about a song about not giving a fuck about what people think of you as long as what you want to do. Hey, I'm fine with that. And then the last three: King for a Day, Good Riddance, and Prosthetic Head. King for a Day is a ska song about being in drag. That's all there is to say. That alone is amazing. And then we go to Time of Your Life. Good riddance, Time of Your Life. There are many songs with acoustic guitars that talk about vague things. They usually fail, not saying that the singer-songwriter genre is garbage, though it can be in some instances. But this song somehow gets it right by having a kind of this passive-aggressive approach to it while still being able to interpret it in different ways. And that's just Billy's voice. Also has a strong sense of self-awareness. It knows what it is, and it owns it. But that isn't it. It doesn't just have guitar. And it's not like the Zac Brown band where it has like bass and drums. No, it doesn't have that. Rob Cavallo, the producer, it just wasn't working in his eyes. With just the guitar, it just wasn't working. They needed something else, so he let them leave for about 15 minutes and do whatever, and he added this string section. It took him only 15 minutes to add this string section to the mix, and it really ties everything together. It's a song that's so vague, you can interpret it any way, and though it's said that this song was originally written after a breakup in 1990, that it's also about change, just change in general. A breakup is a very significant change in your life, because you don't know what to do after the split. How is that split going to affect both of your lives? So it's change, and how change can affect. It's something unpredictable, but in the end, it's right. Yeah. Since this video is getting too long, I'm just kidding. Wouldn't do that. Now to Prosthetic Head. This song is a statement to every person. Well, not every person I know, but a lot of people that I know. It's a statement on how people go to extremes just to be accepted in today's society. Just doing everything, just following the latest trends, following the latest fashion, getting surgeries done, going to extremes such as anorexia. And it's really heartbreaking to see that happen to a person. Like, if when you see a friend doing that, it is amazingly sorrowful to see someone who who just who just doesn't know that it's okay to be different, which is another good reason why Reject worked so much for me. This is kind of like the softer side of Reject, except that it's a bit passive aggressive and when it's addressing this, because he calls you pathetic in doing these things. But when you really dig deep, you know that he's just doing that for the better of you. He, you know that he thinks that you don't need that to be perfect, because no one is. No one's perfect in this world. We're all just filthy animals who dig shit out of our assholes and eat animals. That's who we are. And though we've built all these things to try to make us more civilized, we have to remember that perfection isn't really a thing. Angles don't exist, but even though they don't exist, we still use them. Our angles aren't perfect, they're just there. But even with all that, we can still strive to be better people. But this, what we've built in our society, we want to be skinny, we want to be 130 pounds. Like we're all just robots who want to fill a quota. That's not who we are. And that's really what sets apart this album from a lot of other Green Day albums. It says a whole bunch while still being the kind of snotty and bratty Green Day that we grew to love during Dookie and Insomniac. And yeah, I'd say I'd have to give this an 8.7, if not a 9.2 out of 10. And yeah, I'll see you another day, maybe a couple months, maybe a year. I don't know. I don't have a schedule. I'm Panda West Music Talk, and bye.